Welcome back to the Going for Three podcast. As usual, it's Hot Takes Chris, aka Chris Collins, and I'm here with Tony Farr, aka G, and Percy, aka PTP. How you guys doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Glad to be here.
That's good. That's good. PTP?
Feeling good, refreshed.
Oh, refreshed. Okay, all right. Well, we're going to get right into it. So we're headed to the NFL. This first topic, the Chiefs recently beat the Cowboys, and a lot of people are saying that they're back, myself included. And I just want to hear you guys' opinion on, do you guys think that they're back within the contending conversation? And if so, tell me why. And if not, tell me why.
I'd say they are.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into this big old. I don't think I need to give a big old speech. I'm just gonna kind of make it succinct.
But I would prefer the speech though, if you don't mind.
Well, look, the offense seems to be flowing better.
Yeah.
The play calling seems to be better. Everybody seems to be on the same page. They have run the ball better, which I'm sure I've mentioned they should have been doing more when they were kind of down a little bit. I'm like, run the ball. Why don't you run the ball more to open up the offense? Especially if you're going to rely so much on Tyreek and Kelsey, you can run the ball some. Like, you have decent running backs, even with Clyde out. Like, Darryl could run the ball just fine. I know he's not. I'm not saying he's Adrian Peterson here, prime AP, but the man can run. And your run blocking isn't terrible. Run the ball more to open up your offense. And they seem to be doing that more. So the offense is flowing better. And I don't want to necessarily say like Melvin Ingram just by himself is just transforming his defense and all of a sudden. But, since they picked him up, the defense is playing more soundly. Get my grammar right. They're playing more soundly. They're playing more aggressive. They're getting, the turnovers are up. They're tackling better. They're covering better. I mean, it's not great, but it's much better. And the product shows on the field. So, assuming they keep this up, and I have no reason to believe they won't, barring an injury, yeah, they're right back in that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If they can even play, if they can even play, top half of the league defense, I don't see why they aren't in the bowl. If that defense can even be top half of the league, they don't even have to be top 10, top 5 defense. If they could be top half of the league,
average.
because it's happened before. You can do it. If they could play, because playoffs is when it counts. If you can play top half, even bend don't break defense with that offense and those weapons, and they're getting hot, they could be in the bowl again, sure. Because who right now, Baltimore doesn't look great. Their defense does not look good. Lamar doesn't look. Sorry, Scooter. Lamar does not look like an MVP at the moment. Their offense doesn't look like it flows. Buffalo, you don't know. Like the last month or so, you don't know what Buffalo team's going to get out on the field. One week they look like world beaters and nobody can beat them, and the next week they look like the Jaguars who beat them. So, Tennessee, look at Tennessee. They got hot and they were beating everybody. But now no Derrick Henry, no Julio Jones. AJ's banged up. They can't run the ball. The offensive line's not looking great. Tannehill's turning the ball over. Right now, the team in the AFC, at least if you just look at it in a microcosm of the last month or so, which AFC teams look the best? It's the Chiefs. I hate to say it, especially with the Chiefs fan in the house and the Chiefs fans who listen, but that's facts. There you go.
Hey,
There's two more that are obviously
guys,
debatable though.
guys, low key, he really wanted to say it. It's okay. We know it's okay. It's okay.
I don't hate them. I don't. I love Patrick Mahomes. I don't have hate. There's no hate. I just got to keep it real. Right now, the team that's looked the best in general the last month-ish, it's been the Chiefs. It's been the
Appreciate it,
Chiefs.
man.
It's just the truth.
PTP?
I got a few things on that. First, I'm gonna just tackle them real first because that was the original topic. More or less for them, it was always just the beginning stages. Back to when they were quote unquote saying that they were figured out. Main reason for that was because they just didn't want to run the ball. They really wanted to just keep doing like stuff that got them to the dance last year. And obviously, people are starting to get prepared for that. So, you run the ball a little bit more, obviously, opens the door for a lot more things. And defensively, Ingram probably would be like one of the bigger names you could say that like save that defense because, like I said, they play a lot more aggressive now that he's rushing along with that. Because the way they rushed the Cowboys, it was disgusting. Every time you looked up, somebody was in the backfield on them at some point. But back to the probably just for the AFC is concerned. I mean, there's like two other teams that I kind of think have like, they are like here and there with it just because like how their teams are constructed.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots have also looked really, really good. Surprisingly, with Mac Jones at the helm, that defense is literally the most thrown together team every single year, and somehow they just end up having like some really nice guys. Like they got like Winovich, and they got Van Noy back, I believe. Van Noy's back. Jackson. Like, they got a lot of like under the radar type players that are just playing really, really well every single time. Then even the Colts, like Jonathan Taylor looks like he leads the Pro Bowl vote for running backs.
Yeah, he deserves MVP consideration.
I was just gonna say, I think he should be in the MVP conversation right now.
Like him, Wentz, even though sometimes he looks like kind of exactly like how like the Ravens are right now. Like sometimes, not the Ravens, the Bills. Sometimes Wentz looks like the guy that led the Eagles to a Super Bowl and then got hurt, and then sometimes he looks like okay, like it is with these North Dakota growing pains that they just weren't broadcasting on television. So, Chiefs definitely are like in the hunt again because I thought they weren't really out the hunt because just looking at their division, I mean, I don't think Chargers are like spotty. Herbert.
I mean, early on, man. We're they're kind of struggling now, but early in the season, Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos, they all looked good.
Like Teddy looked solid, but over time it's like,
and then Justin Herbert is Herbert, Derek Carr before the Raiders' house burnt down.
The Raiders are just bit, the police and injuries are destroying the Raiders.
And the coaching, all of it, like they've
released
3 players,
and the Chargers. Herbert is a second-year quarterback, so he
but it's growing pains. That's really all
it is. And quite frankly, that defense gets gashed by the run. They can't stop. They couldn't stop. I mean, they couldn't stop a nosebleed.
But I mean, also like these teams, they're still competitive. Like our worst team in our division is 5-5, so
they still are. It's just their run defense. Their run defense is so bad. I could probably go for 200 against them. That's how bad their run defense is.
Oh God!
And I would need to take breaks every other play. You know what I mean?
Breaking news: the Tennessee Titans just signed Gramps to
10-year trial deal.
Yep.
I couldn't do any worse than what's going on right now. You know what I mean?
He will be in Tallahassee on Monday morning.
Just get me a knee brace and some Coke Zero on tap. I'll be all right. I think I could do it.
Get you a neck roll on some Bo Jackson.
I think I could. Yeah.
Couple icy hots.
I got. Yeah. You'll definitely need that. Yep. So Ben Gay, whatever. Just
make sure the oxygen tank is on standby.
I still got a little shit. I still got a little shifty in me. You know what I mean?
Hey, I feel it, man. I feel it.
Look at that division. The Raiders is probably their biggest worry right now, just because like I was watching a Max Crosby like little mini highlight tape. His little spin is phenomenal. Pass rush is still one of the better pass rushes in that division, so that's gonna definitely keep the Raiders in there. Are still solid, trying to make the best of it.
But with the way the Chiefs are set up now, can you really, couldn't you say the Chiefs pass rush is the best in the division right now?
In the AFC?
I hate
I
this.
would-
No, in that division.
Oh, in the
would-
division?
I
I would
hate
say
this.
so.
I really
I'd
hate
have-
saying
I'd
that,
have-
but
I'd have to go with
The
it.
Raiders do generate a lot of pressure, though.
I mean, now that they have Ingram and Chris Jones has been moved inside, he's tearing
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
He's causing
it's
havoc
the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs, man. It
right
is.
now in
Yeah,
that
right now
division. I'm not
it's
saying
the
overall
Chiefs.
personnel wise, but
I mean, personnel wise, it is. Personnel wise, it is the Chiefs. The personnel just hasn't been playing up to their. This is not a homer like take, but this is just honest because
Yeah,
Frank Clark playing back up to the level that he's fully capable of. Like we have the names and the person with the personnel, they just weren't playing up to their standards. But like for like last 3-4 weeks, Frank has been one of the like higher percentage winning blitz players or winning off the rush. So
yeah, I would say as of these past couple of weeks, it has been the Chiefs, but obviously, I mean, like, if you want to just go back to like point A to where we are right now, Raiders have had like a really like a semi-consistent week-to-week pass rush, at least with like Nassib and Crosby for the most part. Like they've been in the mix almost every single game for them. So I don't know. I would say it's kind of debatable. Not debatable, but like it's like a 50-50 possibly.
I mean, sure. Do I get a say in this?
Good.
yeah.
Of course, they're back in the Super Bowl conversation. I'm gonna tell you, man. We were the defense was really struggling. They definitely were. You know, Chris Jones being moved to the edge, which I mean, interesting concept, didn't work out. You know, they tried it, and the best thing that I'm impressed with, well, not the best thing, but something that I'm impressed with is that they admitted that they were wrong as a collective. Like the defense, the player, they admitted this isn't working. Let's move you back into the middle. Frank Clark started playing up to the level that he's capable of, and then when we added Melvin, now we have 3 capable pass rushers that can win. And then we got our guys like Bolton and Willie Gay playing, especially over like Anthony Hitchens, which, you know, I don't have anything against Hitchens, but at this point, I just don't think he should be playing that much, if that makes sense. So
Definitely our slowest linebacker overall.
Yeah, so you getting that young youth playmakers in there with a rejuvenated pass rush. With, you know, I mean, not like a lockdown secondary, but a good enough secondary with a pass rush. You know, like we still have Tyron back there. We still have Ladarius, who's good, aggressive, and young. That aggressiveness definitely sometimes gets the better of him, but he definitely has talent. And we have other capable corners, whether it's Baker or what's the other one's name? Hughes. You know, we still have Swanson back there. Apparently, we can't do anything about that. You know, I mean, I promise you, it's like every time he makes a play, I almost get upset because I'm like his leash just got a little bit longer. It's just like, damn, just get him out of there, man. Just get him out of there. I'm sorry, I don't like Swanson. I've never really been a big fan, and when he gets toasted, it looks bad. But
Usually, yeah.
He definitely shined brighter last year than this year. Like,
no, for sure. And then as far as the offense, I actually think the offense is still kind of struggling a bit. I mean, against the Cowboys, our second half, I think we had 10 possessions, and we got 3 points out of it. That's no bueno. That's no good. We should have blew the Cowboys the fuck out the building. Like, honestly, like even if we got field goals on half of those possessions, that's another 15 points. That's 16 plus 50, that's 31 to whatever they had. Like, we should have blew the doors off them with our defense playing like that. And the Cowboys were a little out of sync as well. But it shouldn't have been close, is what I'm saying. Offensively, I assume that we'll get it on track, but I do have, like I said, I do have my concerns. I hope we can get Josh Gordon going within the flow of things. Hopefully, we can really get him involved, just because McCole Hardman to me has been underwhelming. I remember we had the conversation think before the season started about whether he was going to be able to take that next step and be a number 2 type receiver. And I think the answer we have, and he's not it. He's not that guy to be that. He looks like he's a 3rd, 4th receiver, you know.
Easter type role.
Yeah, and like Graham said, I like that we're running the ball, committing to the run a little bit more. I mean, it made it easier. It made it a lot easier for Andy to turn away from the run with Clyde out. You know, Andy already is a throw happy type of guy, and you give him Patrick, and then you take away a running back, then he's like, all right, we're throwing 40, 50 times a game, easy. You know, I mean, shit. Even when we had Alex Smith would be throwing 20, 30, sometimes 40 times a game. Albeit he'll be throwing at Jamal Charles, but he'll still be throwing it instead of running it as much. So he's just a pass happy guy. But I like what I see from my team, man. As Travis Kelce said, I think they got their swagger back. We just got to keep ironing out the details, you know, refining our offense. Because if the defense is going to play like this, it's scary. I'm serious. It's really scary. If our defense is going to play like this, it's a problem. I mean, yeah. As far as I know, one of you guys touched on it earlier, but as far as the other teams in the AFC, who else do you see being in that conversation to either challenge the Chiefs or just to be in the contender area or realm, I should say?
I mean, if they could stop with the, you know, bad turnovers, and that's a quarterback thing. Buffalo.
Yeah.
If Buffalo can rush the passer and Josh Allen not turn the ball over, yeah, for sure.
They definitely have the talent. The last couple games, I don't know what the hell been going on.
Defense is too good to be getting clapped the way they do sometimes. Like sometimes I'm like very confused. Like there's like I said, like there's weeks where they'll have like 4 interceptions, pass deflections off this Richter scale. They got a lot of rushes. Then they just can't hit anything. They can't hit. They can't grab. Like it's just nothing.
No facts. Because they lose to the Jaguars 6-9, and they beat the hell out of the Jets, and then they just get the doors blown off them by the Colts. It's like Colts are a good team, but to get blown out like that is still a bad loss.
Because to be honest, like the Colts offense really wasn't steamrolling like that up to that point. And then they were just like, we're just gonna feed Taylor. And
because Taylor's been on a roll, so yeah, of course you ride the hot hand there.
Yeah,
Lord.
Yeah. I can really think of low-key. Because I wanted to say the Bengals at first, but I would say like their defense probably isn't like ready for that type of like offensive challenge yet. Offensively, I feel like Burrow and them could probably like give them a run potentially. But overall, I'd have to say like Colts. Colts defense also is like kind of one of the more underrated ones because like even though they really don't up to it the most part, they are kind of one of those bend don't break type of teams where it's like their corners are solid, Darius Leonard's in the middle. But they lost Blackman, I think, for the year. That's like a big hit. But overall, like that's a really sturdy defense, and then just offensively, like I guess Taylor is playing for them. They got a chance to hang in a bunch of games. So.
Yeah, the Colts should be better than record-wise than they are, and it's unfortunate. It's going to be on their receiving core, which is not great and injury riddled, and Carson Wentz, who occasionally,
But it's like
I don't have words for what he occasionally does.
He'll occasionally lay an egg.
Yeah, it's like what Wentz is like. Because of their offensive woes, I mean, more or less, like, of course, T.Y. Hilton has, like, been in and out of the lineup and pretty much really, like, one of their bigger, like, receiving targets. Even though Pittman has, like...
I was about to say, I feel like even with T.Y. out, I feel like they've still been getting decent production, especially with Pittman. He's been...
I think it was Pittman.
He's been
filling
the void. Yeah.
I think it's probably one thing they really kind of need to think about, because I don't know if it's Doyle or Mo Alley Cox. I'm not sure which one it is for them, but...
It's both of them, right?
It's both. I think Ali Cox is more short yardage, red zone, mostly red zone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is more or less him dealing with like up and down talent that Wentz has. Because I think him and Goff are looking more and more alike by the week. With how like
Oh boy.
some weeks they're sturdy, you know, even though obviously one of them is winning games and the other one isn't. But as far as like just pocket presence or like decision making, sometimes they both have like weeks where you're just like, who gave him the ball? Like, they're just mainly like a defense thing for them that I feel like that's why they kind of are out of certain games because certain things I think pass coverage wise they can't really do just because like you know if they're like certain injury pieces like injured people that are like key pieces of like their zones or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got anybody else for it that you were looking at? As far as contendership in the AFC,
I mean,
nobody said the Patriots the second time around.
no, I don't. Look,
they're good for the regular season, but I don't think
it's a.
I can't say a Bill Belichick team is only good for the regular season. I will say during this run they haven't played, in my opinion, elite quarterbacks. So they're capitalizing on a lot of mistakes. You know, the Falcons threw multiple interceptions, the Browns threw multiple interceptions. I'm sure the Panthers threw multiple interceptions. Yeah. Like the games where they're playing like those guys, like they beat Justin Herbert, but they also lost to Tom Brady. They lost to Dak Prescott. You know, so
yeah. I feel like quarterbacks that are like healthy and in the swing of things is really like what is like the kryptonite because I think they beat Herbert coming off a bye week, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure if it was a bye week.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I mean, he played. So I mean,
he played. Yeah. So like I think coming off the bye week, they called him lacking. Baker has been.
Oh, you can't. You can't get caught. You can't be caught off guard coming off a bye week. The bye week's supposed to be you get extra time to prepare and be healthy and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, sometimes people come back. Some people come back well rested and ready, and then some people come back, you know, like that bye week must have hit a little bit too different. You know, he is in Cali. You know, he might have he might have felt a little too relaxed coming back into that huddle. And he's like, all right, dang, I'm throwing picks. Like, it's like he had that. Baker is the Browns already as a whole have been like the epitome of a roller coaster. Like 1 week they're like clapping people, and the next week they're getting clapped. And I forget what the last team.
I had the
Carolina.
We played. They lost to the Cowboys with Dak. Yeah. That was earlier in the season, though. As far as like the more elite quarterbacks, I mean, Matt Ryan has just been too inconsistent for me to put him in that category right now.
Yeah, I feel like
he was devoid of weapons. But
look, the Patriots have a solid defense. They're doing what the Patriots do. They're playing solid defense. They're using multiple running backs. They're not turning the ball over a lot, which is what they do. But right. And look, I think it's to a degree a feel good story, like because of how this Patriots dynasty for the last 20 years, and they kind of had an off year last year, and now they seem to feel and look more like what you've seen the Patriots do with Tom Brady, you know, sort of. You know, at least stylistically, they're doing that again, and then they're looking like a playoff team, but make noise? No.
I mean, what the thing is with football, man, feel good stories sometimes make it all the way.
That's true. That's true.
And this is the NFL, so like usually it's not lopsided. You got talent on that other side, so I'm not going to take them lightly. They've beaten quality teams, and I don't think
they have enough offensively in the playoffs to get it done. No, I don't.
I mean that's fair. I'm not in love with their skill position, but I think they have good players. You know, they have Jacoby Myers. They have which seems to be two capable running backs with Harris and Stevenson. Yeah, I don't know his first name, but
Ramondre.
Yeah. Like they have these decent skill position. They have two tight ends.
Yeah, even though they're like I mean, even though they are kind of spotty, Jonnu and Hunter are still like two of the better targets you could possibly ask for.
You know, I like Hunter for this team. I think he does good stuff for them. He's a good target for Mac Jones as well. I mean, and then yeah, like you said, the defense is obviously going to be great. So I mean, anytime you have a good defense, anytime you have a good defense and you don't turn the ball over, you put yourself in a position to win any game that you play. So I mean, I can't say that I would say that they wouldn't make any noise. I have to take them seriously because they, those two things are that's winning football. So
they'd make it competitive for sure if the Bills do kind of like fizzle out or like meet them like. I'm not sure if they play them in like somebody's last.
Oh, the Bills would be. Yeah, I like the Patriots' chances against the Bills. Just Josh Allen is a mistake tendency quarterback. Sometimes those balls sell on them a lot. They can capitalize on that, and I mean the Bills don't really run the ball. They don't really, I can't even say if they can or not because they don't really commit that much. Like with Devin,
it's hard to tell
and Matt
sometimes.
Brady, like they never really commit to it. Like and they never let any of their running backs get a rhythm. So I mean, if I'm looking at the AFC and I look at the top teams, I mean, the Patriots, I can see the Patriots beating the Bills. I can see the Patriots beating the Ravens, and I can see the Patriots beating the Colts and the Titans. Especially like the Colts is like I can just see the Patriots just we're gonna load the box and we're gonna make Carson beat us. Oh, you can't? Oh, too bad. Go home. So
because more or less like that's really the thing because like also with the Patriots, Bill has like that uncanny way of like
to just take a player away. If you're too relying on a player, I'm gonna just sell out on it and take it away. And if you can't beat us multiple ways, then you're not gonna beat us at all.
The way they play defense on the Chiefs is not gonna be the where they would play like the Dolphins. That's like that probably would be like one of the bigger things for teams to worry about. It's like if they really do get the cooking and like they do have the confidence because right now they're number one in their division. So
yeah.
If Max start getting in his Alabama bag, then they might be up. It might be up, but it might be up.
Yeah, I would say the Chiefs, Patriots. I can't really put anybody in the AFC North in there right now. Honestly, there's just too many holes on the ball. There's too many holes on those teams, in my opinion.
That's reasonable.
And then the Titans, but even the Titans kind of make me cause for pause just because I mean they're missing Derrick Henry, so they're probably going to start coming back down, in my opinion. I'll be surprised if Tannehill carries them.
The constant from at least most of like the top 5 teams, like, at least like as far as like competition wise, is that they all kind of have like a decent pass rush to an extent, and even overall, it's like something that they really can like say they've worked on, or like it's just been always the main thing for them. Bills defense, they're spotty, have had multiple games where they've locked people, they've taken stuff away completely. Patriots can take stuff away completely. Just see when they want to play, can take stuff away completely. Like the Chiefs, still getting their round up.
Yeah,
be a dog race for them. It's gonna be a dog race.
Well, if no one else has anything left for the AFC outlook and the Super Bowl favorite Kansas City Chiefs, I will be moving on to the college football rankings, which have taken slight changes this new week. So this week, the top 4 we have Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, and Gramps' favorite team, Cincinnati, has entered the top 4.
My favorite team. I just want them to get in, man. I just want one of the little guy, quote unquote, little guys to get in just once. I don't care if they get clapped. Just let them get in. Give them a shot. Because then maybe the little guys will start scheduling more, quote unquote, big guys or bigger conference teams to have a shot. But you got to let one in eventually. Why not this one?
I mean, they're in right now, and you have been on this it's been a couple weeks now. You've been saying.
Well, they that big win on the road against Notre Dame looks even better now because Notre Dame's ranked 6th, and they've got a ranked their conference championship this weekend against a ranked team. So win that.
That's Houston.
You can't,
right?
Yeah, Houston.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, there's some things you can look at and go, but you go undefeated. You got the 2 ranked wins, especially one that, who knows, with some chaos can end up being in the playoff with you. They're in.
Question is, are they still in if they lose?
No.
Thank you. That's all I want to hear.
No, if they lose, no, of course not. They have to go undefeated and have that second ranked win. They lose, they're done. Yeah, they're not going to get in. I don't see that's like a different thing, like because then that opens the door, really opens the door for like a 2-loss Alabama to stay in it.
Oh, they're staying. I hate to break it to you, man. They're going to stay.
It opens the door for Notre Dame to get in.
In my opinion, the only way that Alabama is going to be able to get dropped out is if Georgia beats Alabama and Michigan beats Ohio State. And that way, Michigan would move in. Ohio State would probably still be in it, and Cincinnati would be in it, and Alabama would have to drop out. That's the only way I can see that. Unless I'm forgetting who Notre Dame is going to play. Who does Notre Dame play in their championship potentially?
They don't. They're not in a they're.
Oh, you're right.
They're back to independent this year. They just played the ACC last season. So
yeah, that's in my opinion. That's the only way it would take Michigan beating Ohio State, as well as Georgia beating Alabama, so that Michigan can move into that top 4. But I mean, I wouldn't take Ohio State. I would just.
But okay. Let me ask you this though: if Michigan beats Ohio State, which you're saying probably puts them in the play, puts them. Wait, hold on.
It has to. It has to.
You look at Alabama losing to Georgia, so you got 2-loss Alabama, and then you got 2-loss Ohio State.
Ohio State's better than Alabama in my opinion? Their record and their schedule has been better. They just clapped a Michigan State team that was like top. Six?
But also
clapped them.
But also, if you look at the 2 losses together,
they would lose to Oregon and Michigan,
right? And then, but at the time, Oregon at the time I think was what 11. And they made it all the way up to 3, and they'll probably finish out the season in the top 10. And then Michigan obviously is right now is 5. So does not don't those losses look better than them?
Who did Alabama lose to? Who was their first loss?
Texas A&M.
And they are 15. They're
15 right now. Yeah. I don't know.
They're a 3-loss team. So I'll take at the time a 5 and an 11 over a 1.
Well, that's why I'm saying then you'd have to consider a 2-loss Ohio State, then, wouldn't you?
That's what I'm saying.
If you're going to consider Alabama.
I'm literally saying that the only way that Alabama drops out is if Michigan beats Ohio State and Alabama also loses. That's what I'm saying. Ohio State is not getting out of my top 4 even if they lose to Michigan. Is what I'm saying.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I think the way the committee does things, I think if
they're not going to drop Ohio State and above Alabama.
I think if Michigan beats Ohio State and Georgia beats Alabama, I absolutely see the committee doing Georgia, Michigan, Cincinnati, and Notre Dame.
No.
I totally see them doing it. That's just how
I can't get with it.
Because that's just their effed up logic. They'll just
their effed up logic is always to find a way to get the big schools in. you know, they gonna find a way.
Well, I mean,
They're not gonna drop
Michigan's still considered a big school, and Georgia's a big school, and Notre Dame's a big school. So
Georgia is, but not on the Alabama Ohio State levels, in my opinion. They not like they want these teams to be there. They're not gonna drop them both out, man. In my opinion.
This is the sad
I don't
reality.
think so.
I mean, it is like the cold reality of it, more or less, because ratings wise is also what they're kind of basing it. I mean, it is based off strength of schedule, the core of it.
It has to be. I mean,
Yeah.
other if teams play just better competition, like
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like I said, I don't necessarily think that Ohio State should drop out if they lose to Michigan. Michigan is also 10-1. They're fifth. You know what I mean? Like they're a very good team.
yeah,
They need to open this up more, honestly. 4 is not enough. 4 is not enough. Especially when you got situations where it's like teams like on the outside looking in. Like even what team did I just look at? That's like 22nd. What team was it? UTSA. Like UTSA is undefeated, but they're 22. Not to say that like means that like I want them like in the top 15 or anything, but it opens the door for a lot of opportunities where like if you got teams that are it's like 5 teams undefeated, but their schedules aren't really that good. Technically, they still get to prove themselves if you open it up from like 4 to like at least 10 to like to give them a chance to prove it. Like okay, like is this just a fluky 10-0? Like were their records is really that like good? You know.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it would still be an issue. You just have more teams that were in, and there would still be that issue of like seeing who drops out and who gets in, and it'd just be more teams at that point, though.
Yeah, and of course they probably would still argue about like the top 5. Would probably be like really all they kind of care about at that point. Top 5 would probably be like just the ones that like are really marquee matchups, like. If Cincinnati still makes it the top 5 and it's like 10 people involved, or it's a 10-team like landscape and Cincinnati is still 5, then it's like, okay, well, say no fluke stuff, you know, like the cream of the crop. 4, it's like they got a hand pick in the midst of the 4. Like it's strength of schedule, and at the same time, it's like who do we think poses the bigger threat?
Yeah, and I mean, and maybe that's the issue that they shouldn't put into it. You know, just your record and strength of schedule should probably be included. I know but I know they also think about matchups and like is it even going to be competitive? Like I'm sure they're going to be thinking about is Cincinnati capable of competing with Georgia, Ohio State, or Alabama, and or Michigan?
Yeah.
Notre Dame I still think shouldn't make it in there, even if I mean they have one ranked win they had against Wisconsin. So I mean, yeah, I'm out on Notre Dame getting into that top 4.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, like we've had like some solid games for the most part, but I mean, I'm trying to see my dogs, man. For this whole thing. I'm trying to see my dogs, man.
Hey, you got a shot.
you're trying to see your dogs, but
You got to. It's a hard test in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, we not Michigan State. So no,
I mean,
full fault.
One could argue that they were better than you.
Yeah, I mean offensively, yeah. Like I'd probably say mainly because they run the ball a lot better than we do. But
and it didn't seem to do anything against them boys in Ohio State.
yeah.
Didn't mean they didn't mean a damn thing to them. They said, "Oh, you want to run the ball?"
Yeah. Like with that team is like it's pretty much Walker, and then like the receivers are kind of like in the mix, but they're not really there. Like they run the ball better, but pass wise,
true. But in college, usually that's good enough. But hey.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going against a team that's literally like damn near like with Bama, like literally they're like NFL coach ready type stuff. Like these dudes are just He to be our freshman coming in giving you 6 sacks a game. It's like, what type of plant did he come out of?
It's like
Just
they
because of how he
couldn't
got
move the
coached.
ball. They couldn't defend. I mean, they beat the brakes off them boys. It was disgusting, actually. So, it's not looking good. Not looking good.
It doesn't bode well, but you never know.
Fair? Exactly. Oh, man. Well, it's this part in the show where we're going to be trying something new this week. We're calling it the open. What is it? What are we calling it? The open.
I said open mic.
Open mic. Where we bring topics that are really pressing our souls or grinding our gears, and we just want to bring it out to the audience.
It could be anything.
Really just riff about it. So, I guess I started out. I think it's time to make major changes in Lakerland. I know that they're probably not going to do so, but Frank Vogel. I know he won the championship. Not liking his rotations, not liking his non-adjustments that he's making. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if he was gone. I'm not gonna lie. I think that major roster changes need to be made. Our whole center experiment. We need to stop playing all those centers. AD needs to be center. Stop being a punk and play center. DeAndre Jordan, Dwight Howard, Avery Bradley, none of them need to be playing, in my opinion. Or maybe Dwight. Dwight can play. But DeAndre Jordan taking up 20 minutes, Avery Bradley taking up 20 minutes, 24, 25 minutes, it doesn't need to happen. Take away their minutes. Give his minutes to either Kendrick Nunn when he gets back or Austin Reeves when he gets back. Because those guys are way better. I mean, I can't have a starter giving me 25 minutes of no offense. 0 points. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You know what I mean? Like you are a non-factor, and I can't have that. If you're not gonna
call up McClung. I mean, something. Do something different.
Right? Anything.
To be honest, McClung should have been. McClung actually proved that he should have been in the rotation.
Well, I think that Austin took it. To be quite frank, took his spot to be like that.
I mean, I feel like the only reason Reed's really up there is because Brian loves his corner setters. The Mike Millers, the what's another?
I mean, bro, like he has a great feel for the game. Like, that's really literally that's why he's out there. Like he's not the best shooter, he's not like the the best playmaker, not the best defender, but he has a really good feel for the game. He can hit shots. He just makes live plays.
Yeah,
like, it's very Caruso. Like he's nowhere near as athletic as Caruso. And not the defender that Caruso is, but he has that nice feel where he keeps the ball moving. He makes live plays. He doesn't take bad shots either most of the time. So, I mean, in my opinion, they really only had one significant roster spot where a young guy was going to play because Rondo was still there, Kent was still there, Wayne. Like LeBron loves his vets, so there's really only going to be space for one young guy.
Well, I'm sure he can't be loving his vets right now.
Well, I mean, more or less not even that. Like, shoot, how many of the vets are actually seeing airtime?
Oh, there's a lot of them. Wayne, Dwight, Avery, DeAndre, they all play. Rondo hasn't played as much as of late, and Kent hasn't been playing as much of late. But I mean, we really only got like 3 or 4 young guys, and shit, 2 of them ain't playing right now, and Austin Reeves and Kendrick Nunn. I mean, Talon's playing, Malik's playing. Those are our young guys right there. That are playing. So,
the only thing that I feel like is like one of the biggest faults. I mean, depending on like in Eastern Conference, for example, a semi-old team, you can kind of pass in the Eastern Conference because most of the time, like either teams in the Eastern Conference are rebuilding or the team just sucks.
I also want to. Can we adjust that real quick? Because right now in the Eastern Conference, that is not the case. The Eastern Conference, to me, right now is better than the West, and I don't even think it's particularly that close.
I ain't gonna lie, this year,
even
this year,
the
young teams are playing. Yeah.
Even the years past, like you can, the top is comparable. The tops are comfortable. Like you got the Warriors and the Suns at the top. Those right now are probably the 2 best teams in the West. In the East, you got the Nets. I think the Bucks are the 2nd best team, but you still got the Heat, you still got the Bulls, you still got the Knicks, Sixers, Celtics. Hawks. Like these are all teams that have superstar players. I don't know. I think I think the East is better than the West. I don't think it's that close right now, honestly. But
Yeah. I mean, don't you gotta think that because if the Nets are seen as number one, more or less, their team isn't really most youthful either. One of their
true,
most,
but I mean,
one of their most explosive
36.
scorers. Yeah.
I feel like all the way up until that 30, I feel like that 34, 35 is when they start getting okay. When is the drop off coming? But you still your early 30s, like 32, 33, you still good. But you get past that mid 30 point, and then it's like, okay, when is it coming? Because we know it's creeping up on them.
Yeah, most of those guys on the Eastern teams that are really making noise, they're very seasoned. It's like that. They haven't really hit that wall yet, but that Lakers team, a lot of them guys, it's like they've plateaued, hit their wall, and really haven't been like. Of course, when you pick him up and Bron picks him up, or Bron sees him as a good player, they're like, oh well, he did this for this one team 10 years ago, and it's 10 years ago, Reza was a serviceable guard in 2008.
I want to actually see what I want to see what he's going to give us. To be honest, he hasn't played yet. I'm very curious to see. Last time I saw Trevor Reza play significant minutes on a championship level team, he was, to be quite frank, locking Kevin Durant up. I said how I saw it, and that's what I saw. It took everything out of him. He couldn't hit a shot to save his life because he was spending all his energy guarding Kevin, but he was locking him up. It's probably the best job I've seen somebody guard Kevin in years. Since probably Chris Paul did it, or Ron Artest did it when he was small KD. Yeah. He was playing incredible defense on that man. So I mean, I'm interested. I'm interested to see. I mean, if he can still move at his frame, 6'8", 6'9", however tall he is, and hit a shot, then he's gonna play. He's gonna play. But I think the guards for sure need to be Malik and Kendrick Nunn playing a majority of the minutes, especially if Kendrick can be competent on defense. Because as far as individual defense, I've liked what I've seen from Malik. He can hold his own if he's locked in. I've seen enough. He's got a decent. I think he has a decent wingspan, so he has. So that helps out with him guard twos and maybe even some threes because he's not that tall. He's about 6'4", but he's got a good wingspan. So if Nunn can come in and give defense as well, they're both very offense oriented players. They both can go off. They're both good shooters. They both can create off the dribble. I think that's what we need. So I think
that guard play is really what's kind of killing it because
it's important. And it's going to help Russell out too if you have those two shooters out there. But Bron is past the point where you can just put spot up shooters around him and just say go to work. That's not the case anymore. So
because this team. Even when I said it, it was a while ago. It was 50-50. It's 50-50 between joke and realistic, but more or less, this team constructed. If they pulled all this off in 2011, 2012, hey, ain't nobody stopping this. Honestly, as constructed, it's this is peak Bron, Westbrook. Would be tripping.
I about to say for probably 15, 16, so that AD can be something. 12 is rookie year.
Be there, because they put it up around that time frame. It's okay, now you're talking to me. But now it's you need to have some youthful guys
playing significant minutes, exactly.
Yeah, or at least in the swing of things for key positions. Shooting guard is really only where they have it to an extent.
No, facts. We have three shooting guards / wings those are our young players: Talon, Malik, and Kent. And shit, even Austin is probably not a pure point. So yeah, all our youth is.
Yeah, and even with Nunn, it's Nunn really. Nunn is left to be seen if he can really be a point guard. Because he was running point. He's a scorer. So.
He's a scorer. He's a scorer. He's not a point guard. He's a scorer. But shit. That's what we need. Another guy that can create his own bucket, his own competent bucket, not dumbass offense. Taking bad shots.
I feel like at some point Matt McClung they're gonna have to call him up at some point. If y'all start clearing house,
I don't see
Matt McClung's gonna have some time with that roster at some point.
I don't see it, bro. I don't see a route where that happens because like they're not going to get rid of Rondo. And Russell and no, like even if they want to trade Russ, no one's taking that contract. So I mean, that's 2 point guards right there. He's not going to play. He will never play over Rondo in significant minutes or significant time. Like when it matters, it won't happen. I guarantee you. Like come playoff time, Rondo minutes will start ticking up.
If anything, like guys like Bradley, it's like I mean, granted, like obviously, like once again, it's veteran, but like literally, all he does is run around.
He needs to leave. He needs to leave. He's not even a good defender anymore. I hate that we signed him thinking that this is not Boston Avery Bradley. Even when we had Avery, when the Lakers won the championship, when he like sat out, we played better. The defense played better when he wasn't on the floor. It's just like he had that reputation, but he's not a good defender anymore. Like, and he's not hitting threes or taking any shots. He's just negative on offense and maybe average to below average on defense. Like he doesn't. I've already said this. Kent and Avery don't need to see the floor. They don't need
to be honest. You can get. To be honest, I feel like they need to get rid of both of them.
Yes, seriously.
They need to try to
They need to try to trade all three of them for like expired contracts and DeAndre Jordan and get like a young, mobile big that has defensive like versatility, in my opinion.
And where are you going to get that for that?
Hey, I mean, hey, that's the second part of the question. Now. I ain't got that far yet, but I'm just saying. I'm telling you what we don't need.
I was just wondering if there was like some example of
this one team.
I'm sure
they're already guard heavy, so it'd be difficult to pull it off. But
who?
Kings.
Oh, you talking from Mark Bagley?
Yeah, like Bagley's the only one that I can think of that would like fit.
We're not getting Marvin Bagley for DeAndre Jordan and Kent Bazemore and Avery Bradley. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Kings are the ones who released Avery Bradley, or is it the Kings or the Heat? Somebody. But either way, we're not. That's basically a bag of chips for Avery.
Yeah. Because I can't even say like anybody Bagley. Like I can't really say like a Jackson Hayes or like a Greg Brown. Like
I forgot about Jackson Hayes. We don't want Jackson Hayes though. I think he's not.
He's not a shooter, but I mean he's a better athlete. He's a better DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, but I don't even think he has. Right now, he definitely doesn't even have DeAndre's like defensive instincts. Like right now, like DJ may not be as athletic as he used to be, so he doesn't get there or make the impact that he's supposed to be. But he knows what he's supposed to be doing. It's just that the body sometimes ain't allowing him to at this point. But he knows where he's supposed to be at. Jackson, I'm not sold on that. He been playing down there in New Orleans and getting bad habits and bad tendencies.
Hey, I mean, it's better than Zion with the crawfish boil. They gotta change his diet.
No, they did. I did see a report about this. Hey, we gotta change the team diet. This man getting fat as hell. God, damn.
The team specifically is not giving him the right diet. We're giving him too much of what we need to do with the wrong stuff.
We need to fix it because sheesh, he getting heavy, boy.
The worst habit of it all. You would think like the rest of that team would be like Zion would look like the rest of the team, but literally like I don't know what they're feeding him compared to the rest of them players, but he does not look like.
No, they need to trade Brandon Ingram. Fuck it, just start over. The 3-16 is terrible.
Yeah,
just go all in on Zion because I mean,
it's been their health. Like their health has been just terrible.
True, but even when Brendan is healthy, they still don't know who they really want to commit to, or even if they can play well together between Brendan and Zion.
Yeah, you got Brandon playing like garbage right now because he got it. I think they wanted to like pass more, and I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna score a Joe Val." I'm like, what are we doing here?
Nikhil gonna take all the shots. Don't worry about shots need to be put up. Nikhil will put them. Hey, he'll put them bitches up, boy.
The problem right now.
It definitely is. But I'm just like, if you need somebody to take shots, he's your guy. Put him up.
So you wouldn't think him and SGA are cousins? Because I mean, SGA a pull, but like, there's some sense to it. He'll just be one them up.
And they go in more too. Much easier when they go in more.
Yeah, he moves slower than Nikhil, which is the ironic part about the whole thing.
Yeah, that boy SGA, elite scorer, elite. But the Thunder suck too. So it doesn't matter. Not really sure what they're doing, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I guess they're waiting for Lou Dort to turn into Kawhi Leonard, or no, Jimmy Butler. Let me fix that. Jimmy Butler.
Hey, Lou Dort, low key. The thing with me, I don't know what happened to Poku from last year to this. Pokachevsky.
Pokashevsky, yeah.
Last
year he was.
He got never mind.
the Thunder was so fun. Like they had Brown in the paint. Poku was bringing the ball up. Jerome even looked like player. He hadn't played for anybody else until that point, and then like for Thunder, they actually let him play, and it looked a little bit better. But I just feel bad for Poku. Like I don't know if it's like they just took away like how much they wanted him to do. But 7 foot small forward doesn't just fall in your lap. It's like they got to do something. Be Bowl 2.0 in OKC at this point if they just.
At this point, free the original Bobo because he ain't getting no tick in Denver. I don't. That doesn't make sense to me. Why did you spend was he a first round pick or was he an early second round?
It might have been. I feel like he might have been first.
I think he was too. I mean, if he wasn't, it was only because of those that foot injury.
Yeah,
but I mean, let's see. Yeah, he was second round pick. But I'm saying like, give him some tick in the game. Like, you got a lot of guys hurt right now, and Bobo can't even get any playing time. Like, Porter's out. I'm pretty sure Dozier's out. That's 2 people out your rotation.
I say Dozier's out for the year. Porter's probably going to be out for the year, depending on how they manage it.
They'll probably be safe with him because that's his original issues when he came into the league. Those back and nerve issues. So
he tried to play hurt early in the year, which kind of.
They're when you look at it now, they're ravaged by injury at this point. No, I'm being serious. Like we don't consider Jamal because he never played from the start of the year, but he's a part of it. He's out. Like their second and third scorer are out. So I mean, shit. Right now it's fucking.
The thing though, it's like more or less like there's scorers on the bench. Mike Malone just don't want to use them.
Yeah.
Like I think Marcus Howard is in their G League or something. Put him on the floor. Like Campazzo doesn't put the ball up. Morris is not a point guard. Like I don't see Morris as a point guard.
No, he's just a scorer.
It's like I'm surprised he actually is playing Bones because I don't know what had to happen for him to get Highland in the lineup, but that right there just shows like if you let the dudes play, like your team might look a little bit better because for one, there'll be more youth, and then like
I completely forgot about Aaron Gordon.
Yeah. He's just like their glue guy. I feel like at this point, like he plays oddly well for them.
I mean, he's a very good like cutter. Like he makes like he has very nice like synergy with Jokic.
A good cut, knows where to be on the spot up. Like that's really the only dynamic that they have. But outside of like just having like they could just have a bunch of young guys out there rotating with Jokic that really want to put the ball in the net. And at that point, it's just
you can give Bobo 10, 15 minutes a game just to see like where you're like, you know what I mean? Like, why did you draft him if you wasn't going to give him a lot of time? And it seems like clearly there's something else that they see that we don't get to see, like maybe in practice or whatever. But I mean, every time it seems like he gets on the court for extended periods of time, like he gets buckets or at least a highlight. I mean, I don't know. Just put him out there and see what he can do. The best way to improve, the best way to get experience is to be out there. Let him play. He must just be. Maybe he's just dog shit in practice. I don't know, but.
Mike Malone out. He even said a couple times like we're waiting for that moment. I'm like, this man was in the bubble, like a double or something in there. I'm like, you ran him at small forward. What else do you need?
That's probably the position he needs to play.
Like small forward, power forward, like put the
He
ball in his
he ain't
hand.
no center. He ain't no center. He's 7'2", but hey, I probably ain't banging nobody.
Yeah. But yeah, let's say long term, kind of like Poku in a way. Like those, like they're 7 foot, but they're really lanky. So like all forward, power forward. Even though it's very like absurd to think that a 7-footer fits at the 3 than the 5, but
I mean, I don't think he can even. I don't think that these types of guys can really afford to be putting that much weight on them. So it's probably in their best interest to stay slim and slender.
Yeah. Still dribble the ball, still do what they gotta do. Like, or at least they had arm strength. Arm strength probably plays more of the factor. If you can't block nobody, then yeah, you definitely can't play the 5.
For these ultra shots.
Mm.
But yeah, man, Lakers, it is what it is.
Grant, you got anything? Anyone to discuss?
I'm just gonna something real quick. Doesn't need to be discussed at full length, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
Since Mr. Hot Takes
Yeah.
wanted to talk about his Chiefs, I want to talk about my team. And the way they're playing right now and the way the schedule sets up, playoffs.
The Washington football team?
That is correct, sir.
That is correct, sir.
Yep.
Mm.
Playing well.
You guys are playing, just beat the
Getting
Bucks.
defenses picking up a little bit. Starting to play a little bit more like, last year, especially towards the end of the season when we got hot. Seems like we're kind of getting hot again. Schedule is favorable, and we're getting two of our offensive weapons back this week, which we desperately need. So now we can really see what the offense can do. Besides just Scary Terry, Curtis Samuel's a full go. Looks like Logan Thomas is back. He's practicing, so it looks like he's a full go. Why not?
So wild card or?
Oh yeah, wild card. Yeah,
Okay.
probably. I don't think they'll catch Dallas in the division, unless Dallas just completely falls apart, which they could do because they even look great. They definitely could, but
I think your last 5 games are
our
division
division.
games.
That is correct. We can win them, and we can win them all.
Oh, that's whoo.
And with the way the wild card race is going,
4 hard games, man.
9-8 could do it. There's no reason why we couldn't be 9-8.
But for those 2 Cowboys and 2 Eagles games, those are going to be hard games.
Yeah.
Well, that's I'm just thinking like because Chase Young's out for the year, right?
Yes.
I feel like that's like the only thing that will like hold me back on like because like I ain't gonna lie, granted that defense was playing nice from what I was seeing. They've been playing.
Jonathan
nice.
Allen stepped up though. He stepped up big time.
It would have to be a lot of him, a lot of pain.
I expect you guys to win the next 2 weeks for sure. Like Seahawks and Raiders. I mean, they shitty right now.
Well, that's the schedule. It's Seahawks, Raiders, and then division games.
That's what
I don't see why we. Well, that's that. If that's 5-2, if you even win 3 of the 5 division games and you win those 2. That's 9. And 8. I think
Offensive weapons. Maybe like those.
yeah. Well, I think I think I pretty much called it anyway before the season started. I said I did, although I thought we were going to win the division again because I thought the rest of the division would just be trash.
You definitely thought the Eagles were going to struggle.
My prediction before the season started was 10-7 and win the division because I thought the division would be really bad. I mean, 10-7 is still theoretically possible. But
that boy Dak shot grabs. He was like, the Cowboys supposed to be shitty.
well, but
I mean, they might still be like overall, but
yeah, I can absolutely see 9-8 and a 7 seed wild card. Why not? Who else? Who's going to take it?
yeah,
Well,
I was yeah,
there's definitely a lot of teams that could also be in that conversation. You know, what I mean, so I'm not gonna.
It would probably have
The
possibility for it, but
NFC West is gonna have 2 teams in the playoffs. NFC South, maybe. NFC North probably will too.
Maybe.
yeah. Sure, at that point, I mean, if it's like
I don't know if the
divisions,
NFC. I don't know if the NFC South's going to have 2 teams because I don't know. I think
NFC
New Orleans is going to
South?
kind of. Yeah. Well, Tampa, yeah. New Orleans isn't a gimme.
To be quite honest, I was kind of talking about the Panthers. To be honest, but
I don't think so. I don't think so.
The Panthers probably got a better shake on it.
I mean, they blew. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a G. At least when I think they blew the game against y'all. That last play was stupid as shit. But
Cam kind of.
No, they gave it to Christian McCaffrey 4th and 3. Like, bro, what?
Yeah, like up the middle or a screen, something.
Just run out.
Oh, needed 3.
Run out route. Or shit, I don't know. I just
quick slant, something.
Yeah, like Cam was rolling that game too.
So. That's what the thing is. Like, if they can topple the Saints, which I'm pretty sure at this point they will, because like you said, Cam back in the black and blue.
He's re-energized. He's re-energized. Yeah.
And he gives them a nice security blanket because he knows McCaffrey.
He knows DJ Moore too.
And then most of the guys kind of just fit in the system more or less just because of run and can't put it in your hand type stuff. And then he can run too, so you get another confident guy in there. So could definitely probably see 2 people coming out of the South though.
That boy Sam Darnold was really burnt toast. That shit crazy.
He just got to get his mental together.
I mean, at a certain point, that's just who he is. Unfortunately,
but it's like he's like him and Rosen at this point. What's going on?
Rosen ain't even got to play. When did Rosen really even get a chance? They put him on that. They say, here's a Cardinals team that's ass. Oh, the next year you're gone. He should be upset actually because he's never. I'm being serious. He's never really gotten a chance. To be honest. Like,
then when he leaves the team is like literally one of the better teams in the league.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like the only time he gets put in is on blowouts when the team that he's on is getting their ass kicked. So like nobody cares to play. So then he's gonna look bad as a result too. He has not gotten a fair shake in his career. But
the football team actually does have a chance. I ain't gonna lie. Like once I'm really looking at it, the West is gonna have the Rams and the Cardinals.
Yeah, no guarantee 2 teams come out of the South. No guarantee 2 teams come out of the North.
North might be the only guarantee. I feel like the Vikings.
I like the Vikings. Chances.
I don't know. They're in any given week they're iffy.
Yeah, but they're playing a favorable stretch. 49ers are iffy. Lions, Steelers are iffy.
Pretty much a gimme. I ain't gonna lie to you. They're gonna at least win.
I wasn't gonna say that.
There's a lot of iffy teams in the NFC, so that's kind of was my point. There's no reason why Washington couldn't finish 9-8 and be one of those wildcard teams, 7-ish. No reason why they couldn't.
Yeah, it's very possible. I didn't realize how many teams in the NFC were actually 5-5. Like it's actually kind of.
It's pretty competitive this year. Honestly,
a little too competitive.
I don't really like it. I'm not for it.
That might be a little bit of like the outlier here because Jaguars have 2 wins.
Texans have 2 wins. Jets. The usuals.
The
usual
Falcons are
shitties.
4-6, and they don't have anything. But
Which is that's crazy because like when they lose, oh god, they look bad. That's like how have you guys won 4 games? When did that happen? How did it happen? But man, they got.
I want to talk about the Lions. I'm done.
I mean, hey, listen, man, you guys are gonna get the number 1 overall pick, and you're gonna do some good stuff with it.
When I don't want Thibodeau. I want Coral.
Trade down, get more picks.
Definitely can trade down.
We need a quarterback at this point. I'm tired of Goff. Need a quarterback.
Damn 1 year,
bro. He didn't even look this bad in the down stretches for when he was a Rams quarterback. He looked bad, but it didn't look this bad. Plus, I don't know. I just like the offense will just run a lot. Like the targets we have actually surprisingly aren't even that bad. Like Amon-Ra is not a bad receiver. A little slow, but he's not a bad receiver. He turned Raymond into a receiver, so I mean I have no choice but to believe it now. And then Andre Swift literally was ashing the Browns the other week. So I mean, talent is there. Boy, and Hawkins, talent is there. It's just puts the ball in their hands. Sometimes he just don't either make it there or it just I don't know.
All right, P, you got anything?
Anything for your?
Yeah, that kind of covered it for me. I ain't gonna lie. That's what it.
He said I want to talk about the Lions, but I didn't want to talk about the Lions.
Yeah, it ended at third. It ended at the end. I'm like, let me just get this off my chest.
He said somebody got. Hey, you got a tie in there, man. Here's what you guys have a lot. Like obviously, not in the business of moral wins, but you guys got a lot of close losses. A lot of. It is. It's
in the beginning of the season, it was like, okay, like we're competing, and then it's like, oh, he's dropping the ball. Oh, fumble. Wait, picks.
I'm looking at your schedule. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 5 games decided by 1 possession. So I mean, shit.
I'm just ready for it. I'm ready for the draft. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm saying, but there's caveats. You guys play hard. That's the thing that matters, at least to me.
Yeah,
I like you guys as coach. He's emotional, cries sometimes. I guess.
Yeah, I'll play this. The defense plays hard. That's offense is like early stages. Yeah, I could agree, but defense at this point, like the defense is more happy when they make plays, and the offense are when they make plays, and it shouldn't be like that. Like Will Harris is average. He's celebrating tackles for loss. Like, what are we doing here? Like, somebody need to get happy on the other side of the ball.
You mean you don't like Ryan Gosling as your quarterback?
At this point, I'd rather have Seth Rogen as my quarterback. What would be the NFL equivalent of Seth Rogen? It's
I don't underrated and successful. I don't know what that means.
I mean,
or you mean like kind of chunky, spacey?
Oh shit,
pothead. I mean,
all are
true.
All are valid. Yeah, all are valid.
It just depends on which one you met.
This one, shoot, I would have. We had Mike White.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
I know you down, but
he broke a record.
I know you down bad, but come on now.
He broke a record at this point. He threw more yards than Goff did in a 2-week span. He that.
You guys don't have anything else?
Oh, if PTB doesn't have
I'm good.
All
right.
Bet that does it for this week's episode. Let's go ahead and shout out our socials, individuals first. You guys can follow me at oh my bad, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead, you go first.
You guys can follow me at Chris D. Collins on Instagram and Twitter.
At Tony DeBriel on Twitter.
PTP_99 on Twitter.
Yep. And then make sure to follow us on Going for Three Podcast on Twitter as well. Check us out on Spotify. And appreciate you guys listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Stay blessed, everyone.